Hello, everyone. It's me, Butterfly Spirit 314. So, guys, today I want to talk about my experience today in my pole dancing class. So, if many of you guys haven't already seen it, posted on my channel, Butterfly Spirit 314, I posted a YouTube short where I showed myself doing um, a pole move. So, practicing one of my pole moves that I did in class today, as well as I showed myself practicing climbing. So, if you guys like want to see like what I worked on in my class today, you can definitely watch the YouTube short I just posted. It's like 3 minutes long, but you guys get to see me practicing poles. So you guys can definitely check that out if you want to. You don't have to, but it just gives you guys kind of some kind of idea of what I work on in class and stuff like that too. So I know in the past what I would do is I would talk about pole dancing, but I wouldn't show myself doing it. But I felt like, hey, why not show what I do in class and stuff, just to kind of give you guys some kind of ideas. So I'm going to talk about my experience in my pole dancing class today. Today, I took a pole dancing class with a new instructor because the instructor I had before, she decided to move on to do something else. She's still doing pole dancing, but she started her own pole dancing like production company. So she's doing that with a couple of other instructors that used to teach at the pole dance studio that I attend. So they decided to do that. Plus, she's getting married. So, my instructor, a previous instructor, she's planning her wedding and all that. Plus, she's working on a new business. So, I want to get straight into this. This is going to be a very informative video for you guys to kind of understand a little bit about the what happens in my pole dance class, and it gives you guys more of an understanding, not just seeing me do it in a, YouTube short. Well, you're not going to see me do any pole moves in this video, but if you want to check out my YouTube short, you definitely can. But in this video, what I'm going to be doing is that I'm just trying to make the point that I'm going to inform you guys about what goes into pole dancing. Okay. So many people, when it comes to pole dancing, most people look at pole dancing as something you see at pretty much you see the strip club. That's what most people are going to associate with. Different people have different views on it. I do pole dancing because it's something fun I enjoy doing, and it's a fun way for me to work out. So I really enjoy doing it and stuff. And if anybody who's watching this wants to get into pole dancing, you certainly can. Pole dancing is for people of all different ages, different, you know, different creeds, colors, backgrounds, whatever. I remember seeing a video. There was this lady. She was in her 60s and she was doing pole dancing. There was a lady in her 70s doing pole dancing. Women of many different ages do pole dancing. There's some guys who do pole dancing. Just a lot of different types of people do pole dancing. Everybody has their own style when it comes to pole dancing and how they do it. Okay. And, that kind of gives you guys a little bit of an intro into the world of pole. And this is kind of something I haven't done before, but I felt like why not kind of give you guys a kind of an understanding. Some people feel like pole is a bit taboo. They feel like, pole dancing is dirty or they feel like it's bad, but it's not. It's something that is, it's just something that's fun. It's something I enjoy doing, something I like to do. And I feel like when it comes to pole dancing, it's really something that, it's something that people practice, that's fun, that's exciting. Some people do pole dancing in public. Some girls who do pole dancing, some of them are former dancers, dancers. When I say dancers, some of them are, they will, some of them are former strippers, some of them are not. There's just different types of girls who are drawn to pole dancing and different types of people are drawn to it. And everybody got their own flavor, style, whatever. So that's the thing. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and jump into telling you guys about my experience today because I feel like it's important. And pole, it's a good thing. It's what people make it. No, pole is not just for strippers. It's not something that, makes you a bad person if you do it. It's completely fine. It's really up to you if you're comfortable doing it. I wanted to try pole dancing in the past, but I decided I wanted to do it, but I wasn't sure how people I knew would feel about it, my family and stuff like that. Not many people in my family know that I do pole dancing. None of them really do. I shared it with my sister, but she seemed to try to change the subject, which is fine. It's cool. But to me, I like it. I enjoy it. It's fun. And it helps me get more into my feminine energy and stuff like that. And that's something I really love. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys a little bit about how my class started off today. So I got me some notes. So for starters, when I showed up to my class today, it was at 11 o'clock. So I headed out to my class pretty early because I live a distance away from my pole dancing class. And so I drove there, and my class started at 11. I got there at about probably about 10:40, maybe. And I thought when I got there that my instructor was actually going to be there when I got there, because the previous instructor I had, Ellie, she used to be there early. But when I got to the pole dancing studio today, um, and I got out the car, went up to the door. It's about 10:45. Thought my instructor, the new instructor, was going to be there. I like the old instructor used to be, you know. And what ended up happening was that basically my new instructor wasn't there. And so, I had brought some change of clothes because when I go to pole dancing, I bring a change of clothes or whatever. So I don't wear my pole clothes to my class. I end up waiting to change into my pole dancing clothes when I get to class and stuff. That's just something that works for me. So, some time went by. I decided to kind of, first I got a little frustrated because the instructor wasn't there. And I was like, oh my gosh, is the class canceled? I was checking my confirmation on my phone for making sure I had the time right, making sure I scheduled the date right for my class. And as it turns out, I was right. It was at 11 o'clock. Um, 10, 50 rolled around, and the instructor still wasn't there. And then, let's see, about maybe 10:55, somebody pulled up on the lot. It was a girl. I thought that she was the instructor. Turns out she was another student in class. And, me and another student were kind of standing outside the studio, kind of looking for the instructor. The instructor wasn't there. So basically, while me and the girl were talking, I was like, do you think the class is canceled? She said, oh, let me go ahead and text the instructor. So I guess this girl that was taking class with me, I guess she had the instructor's number. And so I was like, oh, okay. So while, me and the other girl, the other girls seemed to be completely chilled about the instructor being late. To me, I was like, well, the other girl asked me, she's like, oh, have you taken pole dancing before? It's your first time? I said, oh no. I told her, I said, well, I said, took classes with a previous instructor, So, she was like, oh, she's like, she thought that was cool. So about 11 o'clock, this truck comes, and the girl I was talking to, one of my classmates, she was like, oh, there's the instructor, there's, in the truck. I said, in the truck that pulled up next to where I was. I was like, oh, okay. So I get out the car, make sure I grab my bag or whatever that has my pole clothes and stuff in it. And me and the other girl, so the instructor goes um, in one door, and then she has to unlock the other door to let us in and stuff. And I was pretty turned off by the fact that my instructor, that the new instructor wasn't there early, like how Ellie used to be really early and stuff like that. It kind of made me a little frustrated. I was upset about that, and I did feel like I felt angry that the other instructor wasn't there. It was pretty angry about that. So on top of that, the new instructor had brought her husband there with her, and so I was like, "What is this guy doing coming to the class? Like, is he gonna watch us? Like, what the heck?" And it turns out he was there because he was going to be doing some work on the studio in the back. So, he wasn't there to watch us or anything. He was just there to work on doing drywalling and stuff like that in the back or whatever. And so I went to the back, of course, to change into my clothes in the bathroom or whatever and stuff, so I can get myself ready and stuff. Because, like I said previously, I don't come to class in my clothes or anything like that. Like, I don't come in my pole clothes. I change into them once I get to the class and everything. So, um, so I came out and dressed in my pole clothes. So some of you might ask, well, what do I wear to my pole dancing class? So what I wear is I wear a short sleeves t-shirt, like what I'm wearing right now, and I wear some shorts. And the reason I wear a short sleeves t-shirt and shorts is because I like being comfortable. Short sleeves t-shirt is fine because it allows me to, you know, it just allows me to be cool in terms of, like, having my arms exposed and stuff like that if they have to have contact with the pole. Okay. And then also, I wear shorts because in pole, it's very important that skin have contact with the pole, especially the legs, because the legs are going to be spending time contacting with the pole, such as, like, being right up against the pole, or like we will have to put our legs around the pole. And so it's important that there be that skin contacts between the arms and the legs. Okay. That's why I wear short sleeves t-shirt as well as some shorts and stuff. If you guys want to check out my YouTube short, like I said before, you guys will see what I'm wearing, where I'm wearing a short sleeves t-shirt and shorts, and you guys will see the kind of contact that I have to have with the pole, like how my skin has to have contact with the pole. Now, before moving on, I will say this: it is very important when it comes to pole that, and I know this, many of you guys may not know this, but when it comes to me going to class and many other people attending pole dancing classes, one thing that we know is that not to wear any kind of lotion to class. So lotion is a no-no. Not to wear any kind of, like, greased up arms or any of that stuff. Okay. Because the thing is when it comes to pole dancing, it's very important to have the skin to be dry, because that way, if the skin is dry, then the skin can have contact with the pole, and that's a bit easier. Okay. And that makes it a lot easier. If somebody wears, like, lotion or oil or whatever, the issue is that that person is going to have a hard time grasping the pole, because you have to be able to hold on to the pole. Okay. You have to have grip. And there are some girls who actually use a product that's like called, I think it's called Grip Hands or something, and it helps them to grip the pole. I have really good grip when it comes to the pole, because I just have a really mean hold when it comes to the pole. um, and For me, it just works. But I do go by the same rule as many other pole dancers, which is not to wear any lotion or any kind of oil or anything and stuff like that and stuff. Some instructors are going to say don't wear any lotion or oil on the body 24 hours before going to pole and stuff like that and things. So Me, I just don't. If I know I'm going to pole dancing class, I don't wear any lotion. You know, and that makes it a bit easier for me and stuff. Now, some people have issues with dry skin, you know, and there's people who kind of they have some remedies for that if they have dry skin. I have dry skin, but I don't let it bother me when it comes to pole. You know, I just kind of just go at it with no lotion or oil or anything on my body. So I just kind of have dry skin when I go on the pole, and it's completely fine too. It doesn't bother me one way or another. Alrighty, so we talked about what I wore. Now I will talk about what some other girls wore in my pole dancing class. So there were some girls in my pole dancing class, and they wore a couple of things. So there were some girls in my class. So there's a girl that was wearing like basically sports bra, and she had like a skirt or whatever, like or sports bra and some shorts or whatever, workout gear. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much. My instructor wore like a t-shirt and what are called like some sticky, like it's like long pants, but she has sticky pants that she wore, which allow her to grip the pole a bit better, and stuff. So that's the thing when it comes to pole. um, Now there was there was a couple of girls. So one of the girls in my class wore a tank top, and she wore I think she wore shorts or like some kind of, I think she did some kind of like some kind of thing. I think it was like a skirt or something like that or whatever, kind of flowy or whatever. Not flowy, but it was like a short kind of skirt, and then like a tank top or something like that. Some type of thing she wore. That particular classmate of mine, I think she mentioned during class she used to be a dancer. So, well, she used to take pole dancing classes, and she is a dancer. So, dancer meaning that she dances at a club and stuff. Typically, when people say dancer, they mean like they work at a strip club. Well, not well. Some people they work at a club. Let's just say that doesn't mean it's a strip club. It just means the girls work at a club or they dance or whatever. I don't, but yeah, I think it's completely okay. In the past, like at the other studio that I went to, took pole dancing classes in. I had an instructor that, well, the lady who opened the studio, the previous studio, she was a former stripper. So she knew the tricks of the trade. And hey, you know what? There's nothing wrong with learning from somebody who's been in the business. Personally, I don't see anything wrong with it, because they're going to know the ins and outs and stuff. And like I said, different people do pole dancing for different reasons, okay? Which is totally fine. Okay. All right. One girl, the one that had the tank top and the skirt, I guess, the short skirt or whatever. She was wearing pole dance heels. So she was wearing them pole dancing heels or whatever. There was another girl, she brought in some pole, she had some pole dancing heels, but they were like really like tall boots that was like went up above the like way up, like above like the knee or something like that, and stuff like that. Look kind of like leathery kind of boots and stuff like that and stuff. So a couple of girls wore some, they had some shoes they brought to class. The one girl that practiced with the heels and stuff like that, it was like clear heels or whatever, but they were like definitely pole dance heels. I thought her shoes were really cute and stuff. And she practiced most of the moves in heels and stuff. And I was like, whoa. While the rest of us did pole dancing in socks, which is typically something that's helpful. because doing it in the socks is a little bit easier on the feet, and it helps the feet not to be bothered so much by the floor. Okay. Um, oh, I'm hearing my alarm go off. It's gonna drive me a little crazy. But anyway, I'm gonna keep right on going because eventually it's gonna stop. So the next thing that basically happened, so we talked about the clothes I wore. So when I came out, and I'm used to having a specific pole in my pole dancing class. So that's something I'm super used to doing. Um, and what ended up happening when it came to, hang on one second, because it's going to drive me nuts. Sorry about that, guys. My phone was going off. So I just decided to turn it off so I could focus. So, anyway, so like I was saying before, I'm used to having a specific pole in my pole dancing class, because with the previous instructor, I'd have the same pole each class. This time, another girl ended up taking the pole that I'd usually have. Um, and so I went to another pole. The instructor said she was going to use that, and so I was like, to demonstrate moves. So I decided to pick another pole instead. Um, and it was different doing that because I'm like, man, I'm used to having this one pole that I like to practice on. But it turned out to be fine. So next thing I want to say, guys, is that next thing that happened was the instructor was trying to turn on some music, but the speaker that she had, her phone wasn't able to connect to the speaker, so she played music through her phone, which was fine. I was like, she was having some technical difficulties, but that was all right, completely fine. We still heard music. It was just through the phone and stuff, and that's okay. It was a bit quieter, but we still heard music, so that was good. Um, let's see. So next, what we did is we did our warm up. So we did some neck rolls, shoulder rolls, leg rotations. And we did a few other different exercises to warm up our bodies. Before you do anything, it's important to warm up for any type of dance or something. It's very important to warm up because you don't want to accidentally injure yourself. Okay. I know this from doing ballet. In fact, I practiced in ballet on Friday. So I actually did some ballet. Haven't done it in a while, but my body had that muscle memory, so my body remembered the fact of like the exercises and stuff like that and stuff. And of course, it reminded me of making sure to train both sides of the body, because when it comes to any kind of dance, you want to make sure you do things on both sides of the body, because it makes things look better when you can do moves on both sides rather than one side. Okay. All right. So we did our warm up. The warm up was different than the warm up that I would do with the previous instructor. But you know what? I was like, I was starting to simmer down from being frustrated from this new instructor being late. And I was just like, all right, let me go ahead and I'm gonna go with just giving it a chance. I'm like, well, I paid, for the class, might as well stick around and see what happens. So after the warm up and everything, I was calm and everything. And so next thing is we practiced some pole moves. So which I find to be fun. We started off with a pole move that I'm pretty familiar with, which is called the step around. So basically, you do step around the pole. Okay, so the body moves around the pole. It's hard for me to describe it. If you guys want to look up what a step around is in pole dancing, you could certainly look that up. Step around is certainly something that I find that I don't feel like I do it as well as I want to. And I think that I want to practice it more. Even though I'm good at it, I want to keep working on it. That's like literally my thing that I think I want to do more of. But yeah, I feel like, and I'm going to see if I can get, see if I do it well enough. My instructors have told me, like the old instructor told me I was good at it. The new instructor's like, oh, you good at it. But I'm like, I want to keep working at it. That's just me. So next thing we did is we moved on to do the fireman spin. So if you guys have or subscribed to my channel, then you guys have seen me do a fireman spin. And actually, fireman spin is something I do quite well, that I enjoy doing. Essentially, it looks like being a fireman, and like fireman sliding down the pole almost. So, but it is fun. I like doing the fireman spin and stuff. The new instructor did give me some coaching on the fireman spin or whatever, and stuff and things. And she was saying, to bring my body closer in when I do the fireman spin. So I'm definitely gonna have to work on that a little bit because I'm used to doing it one way. But having an instructor kind of tweak my progress and just say, hey, just pull yourself in a little more. It just allows me to do a better fireman spin and stuff like that. And I think that's good. And I think when the instructor kind of gave me a little bit of, advice on it, and it wasn't just me, it was me and another girl, then, I thought that was helpful. And I was like, maybe I can, stick it out with coming to this instructor's classes and stuff, give her another chance, stuff. So yeah, but did fireman spins and stuff like that. Of course, train both sides. So what I do on the right side, I also have to do on the left side of the pole as well to keep my body balanced and stuff like that. Like I said, it makes it better when it comes to doing transitioning from one, series of moves to the other. It just looks better when it comes to, if I ever want to do like any kind of performance or something like that. It just teaches the body to be more balanced. Anyway, same thing with the step around prior. We did it on the right side of the pole and we did it on the left side of the pole, to train both sides of the body. Any pole dancing move, we do it on both sides. We don't just do it on the right side of the pole, we also do it on the left side of the pole. If anybody's taking pole dancing classes and they only do it on the right, everything on the right side, and only train moves on the right side, but they never do it on the left side is going to become the weaker side of the body. Okay. And so, it's not good in pole dancing to only train things on the right side, but not do it on the left side. It's not a good idea because it doesn't make the moves look crisp or look nice or anything like that. It's better to do things on both sides when it comes to pole dancing. So the next thing was we did pole floats. So pole floats, I feel like this is something that I have to kind of work on. It's kind of a move where you hop a little bit around the pole a bit. And I feel like I need a bit of work on that in order to get more comfortable with it. But I think I can, I think I can get there. It's just going to take a little bit more time. But I think I will be able to get better with pole flips. So I think I'll be able to do that. So next thing we did in class was we did the back hook. So the back hook, it is my first time a long time doing a back hook. So in the YouTube short posted on my channel, the short I posted today, you guys can see me doing a back hook, and I'm doing it on both sides, on the right side of the pole and left side of the pole. So you guys can see me doing that in the YouTube short that I have posted on my channel today, as well as me doing climbing. So you'll be able to see that and what that looks like. When I was first doing the back hook, it felt a little odd because it was my first time doing it. And I felt a little nervous asking the instructor to show me how to do it. And I kind of watched other girls and I was like, I didn't feel like comfortable like saying like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. But the instructor basically, was comfortable and willing to show me how to do it, because we had to turn around and, you know, face the pole and stuff like that. So I was trying to turn around to what the instructor was doing. It was kind of hard to figure it out. But ultimately, the instructor gave me some coaching on how to do the back hook and stuff. Um, and if you guys look at the YouTube short that I posted today on my channel, you'll see me doing a back hook. You'll also see the instructor. Well, you won't see, but you'll hear the instructor coaching me on how to do the back hook. And one of the things I love about pole dancing is how instructors are encouraging and they're like, you got it, you can do it. And so I really like that. I like having, instructors that really care, that are trying to show me how to do and move and how to be comfortable with it. Today was my first time in a long time doing a back hook. I did do a attempt to do a back hook when I was at another pole dancing studio a couple years ago. And I don't feel like I did very well at it because I didn't have much individual attention in that class or much coaching and stuff like that. The class went super fast and stuff, and it just really wasn't what I was hoping it would be, you know? So, um, yeah, but I eventually got the back hook and stuff. And I think I did really well with it and stuff. Yay. So that was fun. So when it comes to, let's see, what else did I do? What else we do in class? One thing I do want to talk about in pole dancing class, when I first started pole dancing, I used to be that person who would look at everybody and see like their progress and stuff. And I used to be like, man, I wish I could do the moves the way that person can. But the thing in pole dancing is everybody comes into pole dancing with different types of abilities. Some people come into pole dancing, maybe they were in ballet, maybe they were maybe they were in some sort of yoga, Pilates, or some other type of dance. And so when it comes to pole dancing, they may have that type of spatial awareness and different things and stuff. So when they do pole moves, it may seem like they land the pole dancing moves really good and really easy. It may seem that way because their body's already conditioned already. And so it is dancing, and dancing, you have to be in tune with the music and how your body moves with the music, how your body moves around the pole and stuff like that too. Okay, very, very, very important. But everybody, it takes people time to get to pole dancing. Nobody can do pole dancing. I'm gonna tell you that, guys. I saw this video on YouTube, and there was this girl. She said she learned how to do pole dancing in 30 days. It don't work like that. You don't learn to do pole dancing in 30 days. It ain't like that. Don't believe that shit. It don't work like that. To get to where I am, I've taken like 6 classes. You know what I'm saying, over the course of maybe one class per week or something, or every so often, right? You don't learn how to pole dance in a month. You don't learn how to do that. In order for somebody to have pole dancing down and be able to do upside down moves and everything pole dancing, you literally have to learn. You literally have to train to learn to do that. There's a lot that goes into pole dancing. It's not just something where you just learn how to do it in 24 hours or a month. No. pole dancing, it takes time to learn to do it. Okay. I want to let you guys know that. Okay. It does. And everybody who it's just like any type of thing that you do, any kind of hobby, you got to practice. Practice makes perfect. You can't just walk into a pole dancing class and walk out and be like, I'm gonna bust these moves and I'm just gonna, no. It is not work like that. It really don't. I just want to let you guys know that here and now. So when you guys see me doing pole dancing on my channel and you see me in class and stuff, when you guys see that, it has taken me time to get here. Okay? It's taking me time. It's not like I just walked in class and boom, boom, boom. Because the amount of progress I made today, I had already taken like 5 other pole dancing classes. You know what I mean? And so I had to learn, you know what I'm saying, and get my body comfortable and trained to do certain things. And I'm still a beginner, but I'm not rushing it. You know what I mean? And that's just the thing for me. And I like to take my time. You know what I'm saying? It's like working out. You take your time and you learn how to progress. You know what I mean? And it's important too when it comes to pole dancing. I listen to my body, and this is something that a lot of girls and a lot of people who take pole dancing are taught. Listen to your body. If your body doesn't agree with a certain pole dancing move that you're doing, or doesn't agree with a pole dancing move I'm doing, what I do with my body is I listen to my body and stuff like that. Today when I was in class, I felt like I got overheated. I didn't bring any water. I took a little breather, you know what I'm saying, to take a breather. The instructor, she took a breather, you know what I'm saying, when we was doing pole crunches and stuff like that, as a part of conditioning. And so, yeah, it takes time, you know what I mean? So we did do some pole conditioning. The reason we did pole conditioning, you might say, more workout stuff, because we did pole conditioning because it is meant to get us comfortable with eventually being able to do upside down moves on the pole. Because if you've ever seen any advanced pole dancing moves, you'll see a lot of girls, they will do pole dance moves. One of them is called an Aisha. This is basically where a girl is upside down. Her legs is kind of doing like a V essentially or whatever and stuff. And it takes time to get there. The body has to be strong enough. The arms and the legs got to be strong enough to land that move upside down. Okay. And it's not just an overnight thing. Nobody gets there. And people have been doing pole dancing for years. Yes, they can get back into it. They can do things, but it takes time. And the thing with pole dancing is it's something where the body has to be trained so it knows and it has that muscle memory of how to do things. All right. So, so pole conditioning was different. And one thing with pole dancing that I was reminded of is there are some parts of pole where it is going to hurt, because the body has to get what's called pole kisses, essentially, where the body is going to be bruised or whatever, in order to condition a body to be able to do certain things, you know. Um, and so that is a thing when it comes to pole dancing. But I don't think too much of it. When I walk out of pole dancing classes, a lot of times I'm sore. Um, and stuff. But one thing that helps is to eat protein after pole dancing because my muscles are going to be hungry for needing some fuel, to build and stuff like that. I could say my legs have definitely gotten bigger. One, because have been doing ballet, so that increased the strength of my legs, um, and stuff. So that made them a bit stronger. And and also pole is definitely going to help with that too. It definitely will. So yeah. So after pole conditioning, we practiced climbing. If you want to see me practicing climbing, you can check out my YouTube short that I posted today. You'll see me practicing climbing towards the end of that YouTube short. At the beginning of it, you'll see me doing back hooks. So you can see me doing that, when it comes to pole dancing. So that's something you can see. Now, one of you guys, or not one of you guys, but some of you guys may be wondering, when it comes to me, um, you know, uh, you see, if you check out my channel, you see me post a couple of videos of me doing pole dancing in my class. So like I said at the beginning of the video, what I used to do was just talk about pole, my experience in being in pole dance class. And I decided, well, why not show people what it looks like in real life? Okay. And so that's what, I've been doing. When I go to pole dance class, I will do a recording to show you guys, if I learn something new or whatever. So the reason I record myself when it comes to pole dancing is to remind myself of what I worked on in class. um, you know, and I can't see myself doing the pole dancing moves, so recording myself doing the pole dancing moves is better because I can look back at the recording and see myself doing the pole dancing, moves to be like, oh yeah, this is what I'm supposed to do. You know what I mean? And I see myself do it helps me see how I'm doing it and stuff like that, and how to make sure I do it with correct form and stuff. So when I go back to class, I'm like, oh yeah, I worked on this and I worked on that when it comes to the next class. And recording also shows progress too, because it'll remind me down the line, oh, I used to do things, hey, I didn't used to be so good at this pole dancing move. 3 months down the line, oh, look at me. I'm over here landing this move. Like, look at me. You know what I'm saying? Go me. Go. It is encouraged to record yourself in pole dancing, just because it's about progress. So you can see where you started off at and how far you're progressing. And so there's some girls who don't feel comfortable recording themselves. I record myself towards the end of class, and I posted a couple of shorts for you guys, or a few videos where you guys can see me doing pole dancing in real life. So you can see it. You can see what the studio looks like, what the pole looks like that I end up doing pole dancing moves on, and different things. What I will in the video by saying is that I did notice that when I was practiced, like when we were doing the warm up, I noticed my pole was kind of on spin, so I had to turn it to static and stuff to make sure that it was stable and secure. Doing things on a spinning pole is fine, but I wanted it on static because we were doing things where we needed a static pole, which is good. The kind of pole that I do pole moves on in my class, it is the X pole. It's one of the best type of poles to use when it comes to pole dancing. Some people will say, do I have my own pole at home? No, I don't. I do my practicing in class. I'm glad to be able to practice on the X pole because it's one of the top, most best poles possible. I've been told if people are going to buy a pole when it comes to doing pole dancing at home, it's a good idea not to buy any cheap poles. So don't buy a pole from like a lingerie place or whatever and stuff. Don't buy it from like a sex shop or anything like that that sells toys and lingerie and all that. Don't buy one from there because those poles are not designed to support the body weight. There are people who bought them and they got injured using them. The X pole is one of the best poles. I know that pole is at least, I believe an X pole is at least $500 or more. And that depends on if you have the basic pole or you're going up from there. So I'm glad that they have the assortment of poles that they do and the quality of poles. Because when I'm using a pole, I feel more secure and comfortable and stuff. If you ever see me practicing pole in class, you'll notice that the pole goes way up into the ceiling because the pole is really long. But I love practicing on an X pole. It's really fun, really stable and stuff. When I was in my previous pole classes, I don't know what kind of pole they had. But that pole didn't feel as good as the poles that I'm using in this class, so they were probably different and stuff. I found it hard to grip that pole. But the X pole that I've been practicing on, that I practiced on in my classes at the new studio that I've been taking classes at, excuse me, that pole is really secure and I really like practicing on it. So anyway, this has been a super, super informative video, guys, where I've taught you guys a lot more about pole than what you thought you was going to come in learning. So Anyway, I hope this video has been super helpful. I know it's been like a broken record of me saying, hey, if you want to see me do pole dancing, check out my YouTube short. You definitely can, because a person talking about pole dancing is one thing, but seeing them do it is another thing entirely. You know, everybody looks different when they do pole. You know, everybody looks different. I also want to say this. Back a few months ago, I was watching some videos because I was curious about if, you know, dancers at clubs, you know, the girls that dance on a pole, if they're good at pole dancing. And some of those girls, I found out, have not taken pole dancing classes at all. So they just kind of wing it. They don't really have the kind of training that girls get in pole dancing. So just a fun, interesting fact. You know, if they do learn to do pole dancing, it's because they take pole dancing classes, and then they get real good, and then they can do stuff. You know, so you know, if you ever go to a club and see a girl dancing, don't assume, you know, she's dancing on a pole or around a pole. Don't assume that she is a pole dance like this. She's taking pole dancing classes, because she may have not. She might just be winging it, and that's what she might be doing. You know. But yeah. Anyway, it was something I learned. Anyway, thank you guys so much for those of you who popped in and checked out my video. I really appreciate you. I hope this is really informative for those of you guys who are watching my videos. I know this has been a long video, but I thought it was important to be informative about what goes into my pole dance class and everything like that, just so you guys kind of know in case you're interested or you want to know what people do, why they wear the clothes that they do, and all types of things and stuff. But pole is for everybody of different ages and stuff like that, you know. And I think it's pretty cool, you know. I would say pole is definitely for people who are 18 and up. Um, you know, I would say that 18 and up for pole, because that's just my philosophy. Have to be an adult at least to do pole, and things. But anyway, that's just my cup of tea. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope it's been super informative, and I hope it inspires those of you out there. Thank you for watching. Bye.